perhaps a unique pay-as-you-go progressive, I do not favor major expansions of government programs, many of which I support, without paying for them. And likewise, I think that changes in revenue often have similar impact, and they also have to be offset. And as I understand the answers you just gave my colleague, Mr. Roy, each of you believe that the huge tax continuation, renewal, reauthorization, extension, whatever you call it, that those need to be offset so that we do not just borrow more money from China or the Saudis or whoever will lend it to us to pay for any extension of the Trump tax cuts. Did I hear correctly?
Yes, Congressman, that if
we
one
offset those.
A general rule of advice I learned from Marty Feldstein when I was in graduate school was that when you're in a hole, you should stop digging.
Right, right.
Generally speaking, more savings of a good variety, and that's in your discretion, would be good to do.
Right. And you feel that way too?
We will need to pay for extensions, especially of the individual tax cuts. The pro-growth side is a different matter, but if we extend the whole package, we should pay for it and then some, because we also should take this opportunity to reduce deficits and stabilize the debt.
Thank you. Mr. Walker?
Yes, and focus on the metric GDP. What's revenue to GDP, spending to GDP, and debt to GDP?
Exactly, a very important measure. And actually, though there's been significant criticism in this committee of CBO and suggestions that it should be changed, they came out pretty close in their estimates on the Trump tax cuts of 2017, so that we are now in a situation, I believe, in 2023 of about 17% as the percentage to GDP. I think that was their estimate, and we were at 16.5%, I think is the output versus GDP. I think it is important that that we focus on the recent writing of the chairman. He has indicated on previous occasions that we could not address the budget problems we face by spending cuts alone. And he has written a document called Fiscal Responsibility Begins by Ending Beltway Budgeting Gimmicks. And some of you have referenced those issues in your writings also, but it's really important that we not pretend we are resolving this problem by using gimmicks. One of the gimmicks that I think was used in this committee with our budgets last year, that has been used by Democrats as well, was the so-called reserve fund for pro-growth tax policies. These reserve funds for unlimited tax cuts really simply mean borrowing more from abroad to pay for our debts. And of course, the biggest budget gimmick of all that has been discussed of late and embraced by some of my Republican colleagues is that we simply wave a magic wand over the Trump tax scam 2.0 and declare it to be free because we have adjusted the baseline, the current policy baseline. And I believe, Ms. Boccia, that you have written regarding that specific budget trick, and the writing I saw, the quote was, "Not recognizing the cost of the TCJA extension is a gimmicky attempt to disappear them, but trying to hide them doesn't make them any less real or damaging to the fiscal situation." Is that correct?
This is correct.
Thank you. And Maya McGinnis at the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget has also written that if every policy could be enacted temporarily and then assumed permanent, it would create tremendous hidden cost. And that's the gimmick that has been used that leads us to the current situation, hiding the true cost of these revenue changes, these giant tax reductions, and hiding them under temporary, when we know that rarely is a tax reduction in Washington a tax cut temporary. It's just a matter of extending it from year to year. So I think it's really important that we avoid tax break deceit in the coming months. We know we're in a hurry up and rush with reconciliation proposals that are pending perhaps as early as next month. It's really important that we not do further harm, that we embrace the kind of commitment that the chair has said is a moral imperative by not adding to the debt either through our spending decisions or through our tax decisions. And I thank each of you for your testimony today.
I thank the gentleman from Texas, and now yield 5 minutes to Mr. Moore from Utah.
Thank you, Chairman.